Hello, my name is Damon Friedman, co-founder and president of SOF Missions. As a 20-year veteran within Special Operations, I've gone through many challenges due to my military service and time in combat. We felt called to start SOF Missions to serve our fellow brothers and sisters in arms, focusing on suicide prevention and resiliency. Our mission at SOF Missions is to empower warriors to find purpose and be resilient. Since 2011, when we started the organization, almost 3 million men and women have deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan. Unfortunately, the scars of war take a toll on their psychological, physical, social, and spiritual health. Many veterans feel a sense of hopelessness and a loss of purpose when they return to civilian life. They feel isolated and alone, unable to reconnect. And in the greatest of tragedies, over 20 veterans lose all hope and take their own lives. Our goal at SOF Missions is to provide veterans the tools and resources so that they don't become a statistic. We offer a unique approach to combating veteran suicide through a whole health intradisciplinary model. The Be Resilient program is a 4-pillar methodology that addresses the areas of psychological, physical, social, and spiritual wellness. We provide care through 3 delivery methods: medical clinics, retreats, and educational training. Since we started back in 2011, we have been able to reach veterans in all 50 states and have served over 3,000 veterans through the Be Resilient program. Being resilient is a multifaceted and complex issue. We know that to find a lasting solution, we have to address the whole warrior. Many challenges cannot be solved by providing the treatments and modalities of just one component, but by tackling them all. Now, we've expanded our services to include law enforcement and first responders. Together, we can make a lasting impact in the lives of warriors across the nation. To learn more, visit our website at sofmissions.org.
For your post assignment, all units proceed to your post assignment.
All right. Welcome back.
Misfit Nation. Misfit Nation. The Misfit Nation Show.
We are a show founded by a veteran and hosted by 2 veterans and a military spouse. Our mission is to get people to tell their stories to the world. If you're an author, share your tips with the Misfit Nation. If you're a musician or an actor, our audience needs to know how they too can get into the business. Coaches, we love our coaches. Come on and share your tips with the Misfit Nation to help them become better versions of themselves. If you are a corporate leader or an entrepreneur, come on and show how you did it and how hard you have fought for success. If you are a veteran, first responder, or Gold Star family, we would love to have you come on and share your story with the Misfit Nation. We always have time for you. If you're feeling down, alone, or starting to see the darkness, stop. Think about those who are around you. You are not alone. You will be missed. If you feel like your problems will be a burden to those in your inner circle or feel embarrassed, dial 988. If you are a veteran, take option 1. We need you to keep pushing forward. Don't make a permanent solution to a temporary problem. If you are a new listener, welcome to the Misfit Nation Show. Be sure to subscribe to our show on your favorite podcast app. Also on our YouTube channel at @the_Misfit Nation. Subscribe and click the bell to keep you up to date on our latest episodes and all of our news. You can also find us on Heroes Media Group and About Face Radio. Now, let's get to the show!
All right. Welcome back to the Misfit Nation Show, your Thursday after dinner edition. We know you have other things you can do tonight, other airlines you can fly on, but tonight you're flying with us, the Misfit Nation. Thanks for doing that. Like the intro says, a day tomorrow with you is better than a day without you. Stay in the light. If you need help, dial 988. Don't be ashamed. If you don't want to call them, you can call us at the number on the screen or email any one of us, info@themisfitnation.com, Steven@themisfitnation.com, or Jake@themisfitnation.com. We will take care of you and we'll keep you with us tomorrow. Tonight, we have a great guest, a friend of ours from Cohort 7 of the Spartan Leadership Program. He is a speaker, facilitator, author, and law enforcement and security consultant with over 35 years of distinguished service in the military and federal government. A retired federal law enforcement executive, he has culminated his service in time. Sorry, I had to put some noise off there. Culminated his service in April of 2025 as the inspector in charge of the Los Angeles division of the United States Postal Inspection Service, where he led one of the nation's largest and most complex field operations. He previously served as a special agent with the DEA and as a U.S. Marine Corps officer, retiring at the rank of lieutenant colonel in 2020 after 3 decades of service, active and reserve, including combat deployment. So without further ado, let's welcome Carroll Harris to the Misfit Nation. Welcome, Carroll.
Hey, thanks for that introduction. It's great to be with you. I'm grateful to be with you. I'm grateful for what you're doing. And I'll apologize for my voice, but I'll do my best to project. You're picking me up, right?
I got you. I got you loud and clear. You're doing good. And I
Okay.
can see all the smartness behind you. We talked about this in the green room. We have case law behind you. So everything we say in this show tonight will be legal and protected under the law behind him right there.
Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law, which I am sitting in as we speak.
Outstanding. So we're good, right? We're all safe. We're safe and secure right now.
Yeah.
Carroll, I gave the first paragraph of your bio. If you don't mind, let the Misfit Nation know a little bit more about you, a little more in depth from as far back as you want to go to how we got to where we are today.
And thank you for sharing some bio. I'm egotistical enough to enjoy it still. I know some people shy away from it. I'm actually full of myself. So happy to talk about one of my favorite subjects, which is me. No,
There you go.
but I will share it. You've covered the gist of it. I've only been on this great green globe of ours for 55 years. The preponderance of it you covered with the bullets you shared. You were kicking tires, lighting fires, and getting that thing up to altitude. Afterburners lit. We're coming in hot. It's already told as far as the major buckets of the places I've had the opportunities to serve. Something that didn't speak to that I'm most proud of and grateful for in my life is my wife and 3 sons. I have 3 adult sons, and they're 18 and older for the 3. And we're spread across the country as we speak. I'm coming to you from Washington, D.C., where I'm working now, providing security work to protect our nation's courts, leading teams that do that. Now that I'm a retired agent, I'm supporting the courts that way and working to keep our justice system safe and secure, which to me is incredibly important and always has been. I'm just serving that justice system from a different seat at this stage. I'm privileged to be where I'm at now is not far from many of our nation's monuments. DC is not that big of a city, so it's rewarding for me to do one little piece of that at this stage in my life, to be a part of that, as I still feel connected. I know many veterans that have transitioned or people that are serving now. Sometimes you may lose that sense of connection and camaraderie when you transition from one phase to another. Having been someone, as you said, I just recently retired from 35 years of federal service, and I did not take it lightly, and I had trepidation, and I'm still going through an adjustment phase. I need friends. I need that connectivity. I need that camaraderie. I'm fortunate that the assignment I've taken here in DC, there are other people with similar experiences I'm getting to work with. And specifically, there are veterans here that have done some incredible things. And right before spending time with you tonight, I just had dinner with an absolutely incredible 2nd Battalion Army Ranger. And to hear his stories and to know what he's done and what he's lived through, it makes me reflect on my journey and how grateful I am to be here and to be a part of something and to be able to still feel that connection and camaraderie, which I was afraid of losing as I retired from being a federal agent. I was afraid of losing it when I retired from the Marine Corps back in 2020. And I'm proud to say that as I've navigated and I've met people like Rich in organizations like the Misfit Nation and others, I've been able to maintain those connections that fill my cup, give me joy, and enable me to continue service and through the form of storytelling and providing perspective for those who maybe are on the trail behind me and haven't quite blazed along as far as I have, and also support and camaraderie and connection for those who may be decades ahead of me. I was raised in a family of veterans. I had a grandfather who served in the Pacific on my wife's side, who fought there as a soldier. I had a grandfather on my mother's side who fought in Europe in foxholes. Both of them came home, but I heard their stories in my youth. My father was a river rat in Vietnam. He fought over there. And over the years, I've heard some of his stories. And I'm just grateful to be able to be connected with them, as well as the younger generations, like this ranger I just had dinner with tonight that I get to work with on a regular basis. Getting to interact with him and be a sounding board for him and work together with him is powerful. I get that from our cohort, Rich. What we're doing with the Travis Manion Foundation, it gives that to me as well. And that's just incredibly important to me, that we all have voids in our life. Some people fill them with things that are negative. And I know in the veteran community, sometimes that happens to the people that we love and care about in the veteran community and their families. And what I'm looking to do is, 1, to be the best version of myself, 2, to be a good example for them, and 3, to hopefully inspire action in that community for those families, to include my own, as well as the families of the veterans and the veterans themselves, so that they can fill those voids with positive things that will echo on over the horizon, leaving everyone better off. So meeting you, Rich, and being a part of Travis Manion Foundation and what it represents and what it's doing is part of that. My hope, even though I'm over 50 now, is that I can stay healthy, keep my mind going, and keep my body moving to where I can make it to 100, still engaged, still serving, still finding joy in my daily life, and uplifting those around me, leaving a wake of goodness and a legacy of goodness. That's my inspiration. And that's why I wanted to, I more than you're looking for people to come tell a story. That's why I want to tell a story. I want to do that for people.
Outstanding. And I think as we grow, I mean, we're both 50, you're 55, I'm 54, I'll be 55 in a few months, but as we get older, our story is more important. And if we tell our story, it doesn't go to the grave with us. It helps the next generation to learn from what we went through and not to make any of those little hiccups we had, those little mistakes that we had growing up and going through our careers. And maybe they'll be better off without those little errors, but also it shows them that we lead from the front. And I think that's what you've been doing for the 35 years in federal service. You look at it, 35 years of federal service, but you did 2 different things at the same time that many people won't last that long doing it. And you're still upright and you're still doing it now as a retiree. So that's outstanding.
I'm a little older and slower, but thank you.
That's why you have young guys around you.
I do. They motivate me.
They keep you pumped up, and you don't have to be as quick on the draw. So it's good.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. You made me remember. I'm really proud of having served, and and my vehicle for service was the Marines as a reservist, and a little over 10 years active. It's where I met my bride. I'm so grateful I got to meet her. I feel lucky that she married me, because the reality is there's not nearly as many women in the Marine Corps as there are men. And my theory of it was that after 1,000 guys that looked just like me asked her to, let's eat dinner together, she finally was just exhausted and said, fine, you'll do. I'll eat dinner with you. So I was lucky enough to get to marry her. I think, because she was certainly being asked out to dinner by everybody. We've been married for, how many years is it now?
Don't mess up.
I'm coming up on, this is a big one. We're coming up on 30 almost.
Nice.
So she's stuck with me. I'm grateful for that. But what you reminded me of that I want to highlight for all the reservists out there, I'm thankful for the people that are still serving today, because a lot of people don't realize, you said you did 2 things, and I did. I had a full-time federal career for the federal government, and I finished out over 20 years as a reservist. And so what that means for those that are doing it, and I'll thank them right now, and those that are considering it, I'll shine a light on it from the lens of sacrifice, because it is a sacrifice and a service. There are benefits, and it's completely worth it. But if you do that, what you're saying is, I'm willing to take every month, for the most part, and work 2 weeks out of every month without taking a day off, because I'm going to do a reserve duty typically at least once a month through a weekend while I hold my regular full-time job. That is a sacrifice, to live 20 years of your adult life where you're saying, for my country, I'll do it. I'll spend 20 years working 2 weeks every month without taking a day off because I love my country. I love my family. I love my neighbors. People have different motivations. Those are ones that I recall. So thank you to all the reservists out there. I'm grateful for you, whether you did one tour or you just plowed through 20 or 30 years like some of us. It's a sacrifice, and there are wonderful benefits, but it is a sacrifice. And when I see the younger folks that are signing up to go, it actually chokes me up. I went to the 250th to celebrate the Army here because I'm here in DC. So I went, and it was so powerful to hear Lee Greenwood sing "God Bless America." Well, I could see just multiple generations of soldiers just wanting to honor their country, and to be in that crowd and to hear people sing and to see it live. That was so uplifting. I'm grateful I did it. For those who don't take advantage of coming to see these monuments and walk the city, I know it's expensive, but I know there's many around the country that haven't. So I'll encourage you to do it. If you can get here, there's a lot of good things you can do that don't cost you an arm and a leg. You just got to get here to do it.
If you don't want to go into the city proper, you can park outside, take the train in, take the metro in, and the stops are almost at every perfect area, like Farragut Square right outside you there. You can get off there and walk right to the White House, right to Ronald Reagan building and all that stuff right there. It's awesome, that whole little area. Everything in DC, like you said earlier, it's a small town. As you look at it, you can walk everywhere within a day. You'll be smoked, but you can walk the whole thing in a day and see what our country is really made of right there, and the diversity, and everyone wants to come see that area. You should see it too as an American.
Absolutely. Last Saturday, I took a tour through the White House, and I'd done it with my family years ago. But the post commander from the Hollywood American Legion was in town, where I lived in Pasadena until I came here. And so we were hanging out, and we did the White House tour together. We had a blast. And every administration changes some of the artwork. But the thing I really enjoyed was the seeing some of the paintings, the original of George Washington that survived when the British came here, literally where I'm at now, and they went to burn down the White House in 1812. There's a painting that's in there now of George Washington that Dolly Madison saved, and she brought that painting over here it's attached to the court facility that I get to help protect now. Just the heritage and the stories are so rich, they're never ending. And I use the trains here for my daily commute. I'm meeting families from all over the world. I was with 3 generations of an Amish family last week on the metro who were here to see the nation's capital. And for them, because they're not in the busy city typically, they were very excited and happy to tell me what they were going to see that day. I enjoyed their energy. It was uplifting just to meet them.
And being on that big train, probably with their eyes were open right there. And that's a big change from the buggies and horses in their country land, their rural areas, to come to the nation's capital and do that. And the numbers of them that voted this year was just astronomical. Last year it was astronomical for them to come out and actually get involved with the process. So that shows a lot about what they're made of.
It was great to see him. The grandfather said he had come here 30, 40 years ago, and none of the family had seen it, right? So he was bringing them back. He was guiding them.
Oh,
he
wow.
was so excited.
Seeing a lot of it hasn't changed, but there's still things that have changed in that city. Definitely. 2 years ago, last year, actually, my wife ran the Marine Corps Marathon, and to keep up with her, I took the metro from like mile X to try to get ahead of her, give her nutrition, and then try to beat her again. And I think it's just fun getting on the metro there, just running through, do your snap through with your phone and go through, and make sure you get off the right stop. And I just love the metro because it's so easy. It's way better than most places.
It is very good here. And you've inspired me to share my favorite hidden gem in the city that I tell guests or people that want to come that does not require a ticket and will give you what I believe is the second highest view is the old post office tower. So if you're walking by the White House, not far from here, you can go up in that. And that was where I shared with the Amish family. They were very excited about it because they were already going to be there by the White House anyway. I said, hey, walk over there, and the children, you can go up. No tickets, just easy. Most people want to go up in the monument, but that does require planning and timing. Right. You can go in that old post office tower at any time. And having worked for the Postal Service, I love postal history. It's American history, and I love to bring it up and share it.
That's outstanding. I've never been in there, so I guess next time I go through, I will hit that myself as well.
It's a good one.
So I'll be up there this year to support her. I'll be her athletic supporter again for the Marine Corps Marathon. So I'll be there on the streets trying to cover it as with the Misfit Nation and follow her as well.
That's a great one. I ran it back in 2010.
Okay.
It's one of my favorite memories. My father-in-law, who's since passed, and my brother-in-law came, and they did exactly what you did for me.
Nice.
And it's a wonderful memory. Absolutely wonderful.
Uh,
And that when we got back from that trip, my father-in-law, his name's Jerry Highland, he was diagnosed with cancer, and he passed away that year. So that was our last trip together.
oh, wow.
And that was in October, obviously, is when they run that race.
All right.
And the other memory that I have that is worthy of a share is we don't know when we're done. We don't know when our friends are done. We don't know when we're done. And we had done that trip together. And I was just, I'm so grateful it happened. At the time we lived in Indiana. So it was a big trip. But that January 1st, Grandpa Jerry was still alive. And Grandpa Jerry calls me up, and Indiana's cold and there's snow on the ground.
Yes.
And we know Grandpa's sick. He says to me, Carroll, would you like to go golfing today? And I'll just never forget it. I didn't want to go golfing on January 1st in Indiana with snow and ice. But of course, I answered to him, I would love to go golfing with you. And we went and we golfed around snowbanks and ice banks. And it's one of my favorite memories. So I think of other of it. We have Jerry's in our life, or people maybe we haven't touched base in a while, and they may call and ask us to golf on January 1st. I'll encourage you to do it. Go golf on January 1st if you get asked to do it, because you never know. And that ties into that whole buddy connect thing, right? When your buddy, if you think of a buddy and you haven't talked to him in a while, go ahead and drop that text or send that call. Send it. Do it. Send the crazy selfie. I like to send crazy selfies, and people will roll their eyes, but I don't mind it. It's how I express my love. I'll send it.
I think you sent one before when I said you'll be on the show. He's like, who?
Yeah. Our poor group has to put up with me because I do that.
Our group is borderline on there's a line there. Crazy. It's there. Our group is right there. It's a great group. And like you said earlier, the camaraderie in that group, it was felt immediately. And you don't usually feel that when you go to veterans groups like that. But ours, I actually got that feeling right away when we sat in the room in the NASCAR Hall of Fame. And then we went to dinner, and you could just feel the gel coming together. And then, of course, at breakfast and such. It was pretty cool to meet everyone there. I'm ticked off I won't be there next week, but you'll get to carry the torch for me next week in Colorado and send me selfies from there.
Oh, I will. I'm a little intimidated by what we're gonna do. But I'm confident it's gonna be uplifting. And I can't think of much I've done in life that didn't intimidate me or maybe make me a little uncomfortable. Most of the good things, I might have a little bit of trepidation or okay, here we go. But that's when you know it's gonna be good.
Right.
And if it's not good, you're going to have a good story either way. That's how I look at it. But it will be good. And they're great people. Their stories are incredible.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Everyone I've talked to, I didn't get to talk to everyone individually, but all the ones I did had awesome stories. And I keep getting that link with them as we go forward. And then, of course, after our cohort's over, we'll keep in touch and we'll learn a lot more about each other after to see what we do bigger and better things.
It's a pay it forward crew.
Yeah.
And that's what inspires me is being around people like that. Just like what you're doing here by letting people get stories told. It's a pay it forward thing. I like to think about those that went before us and how the veterans that are out there now that are leaders in the community, and they're earning that title of a veteran and a leader every day. It's not something where, yeah, I served and I'm done. We continue to earn it through our interactions and what we do with our time and how we can listen to and support others and uplift them and apply anything arduous we might have been through to help someone else, whether they're senior to us or junior to us. That's one of the great things I get out of having served as a veteran and as a federal agent. I feel the same way about law enforcement. There's a lot of service there too. Sacrifice.
100% there is. And I was going to say earlier when I said you did two things, I have a real good friend who's like a brother to me. He was my team leader when I was a squad leader the first time here at Fort Campbell, and now he's a sergeant major in the reserves, command sergeant major in the Army Reserves, and he's a detective here in town as a police officer. So he's doing both hand in hand. So I see him do it all the time, and I know he's tired, and I know it's almost time for him to move to the other side. But he has been serving with integrity and valor and vigor for 3 decades now that I've known him, and it's amazing watching him.
Yeah. And people like that, I just can't help but love them
Right.
and appreciate them and their spouses and their children because they're all paying the price with them. I've missed a lot of birthdays. I haven't been there at night, and I'm still carrying that and working through that. That's a thing.
Right.
And that's something that you have to work through if you've served it in that manner. So I'm grateful for them.
Definitely. I'll let you get a drink of water there, Carol, before you kill yourself with the voice.
I know. I am so sorry.
It's all right. I don't want you to lose it completely and then not be able to do your job, your actual job tomorrow. But during your time in the DEA and in the Postal Inspection Service, I'm sure you've seen a lot of crazy things in that time. A couple stories you can share from that time that are, I guess, not protected by anything you can tell us about.
Yeah, definitely. Well, as a Marine, I was in the invasion in 2003.
Okay.
What I saw there is still with me today, and I like to think it makes me a better person. And I wrote about it, and I wrote about it for General Amos, and I did it with Colonel Visconage. Sorry, we did. Damn, I'm gonna see if I can talk.
All right. Well, I won't sing for you, but I'll talk for you while you're getting your voice back.
Yeah, it's totally dying. I wrote about what I witnessed in combat. My duty involved capturing the combat for the Marines. And when I came back, my duty was to officially write that as an official historian for the Marines.
Wow.
And the stories are in the museum here in Quantico.
Nice.
And you can see the stories on the wall. You can see the artifacts. You can see them in video panels. Where
Wow.
I'm literally telling the stories. The beauty of it is that the Marines would again and again go into harm's way. And they would, I was on casualty and evacuation flights where we would save the lives of the enemy after we had fought them. And we would, of course, save the lives of our Marines, but also the enemy. And I flew on the flights with the enemy and the Marines that we were saving, while other enemy would try to shoot down the helicopters,
Right.
not knowing we were rescuing their own people as well as our own. And that sticks with me. But it says who we are.
Right.
I was on those flights numerous times. I wrote about that quite a bit. I'll never forget it.
Right.
So witnessing that has been a powerful foundation to reflect on when I face hardship in my daily life, anywhere. And a
Definitely.
lot of Marines have that from having seen combat. So that makes me a better person. Some may talk about coming back and having stressors, but I like to think that we have something called post-traumatic growth,
Yes.
where we experience what is very difficult. And because of that, we're made better and we can help others in ways that you can only help if you go through that type of thing. So
Right.
that's my big takeaway.
And I think,
Same thing with as an agent, I saw many unpleasant things,
I bet.
and many. The thing that would bother me the most would be the children in these places where we would go and we would arrest everyone. But in so doing, many times there were children. Specifically for me, there are 2 different Christmas Eves where I was doing enforcement action on Christmas Eve, and we arrested people,
Wow.
and we got it done, and I would get home, and I would have to go from what I know was trauma for those families and transition into my own home, which was clean, and there were presents under the tree, and I had a beautiful wife and beautiful children, and I would have to be able to cleanse that and be the good father. And as I sit here, there are people all over the nation, thousands and thousands of law enforcement and people overseas that are doing those transitions every night.
Right.
And that's not easy because they're humans. Then they can be better for it. But it's a form of service that most people don't know exist. They're blind to it because you don't forget it.
Right.
I don't forget the children that I know that are separated, or even if they're not separated because of my work, I know the environments they're in. So that impassions me to want to serve. And that's why I did the long haul for the 2 careers. It's also part of the reason I like being connected with the courts and protecting them, because I feel like they add value as part of our society. And that's why I'm so grateful for all the law enforcement and the veterans that are out there, because they sign that blank check and they say, send me, I'll do it. I'll do it. And they know that some of them don't come home, and they know that some things that they'll do will change them forever. So
Definitely. And you're talking about the Marines in Iraq. I got to serve with alongside the 2-4 Marines out of the Hollywood Marines out there, the magnificent bastards in Ramadi, and we're kicking in doors and doing things that we're supposed to do. And you hit the nail on the head that we may go out there and we're trying to kill the people that are trying to kill us, but at the end of the day, we'll still help them if they're wounded before we send them off to get interrogated or whatever. We're gonna give them that care, and you have to see them when they're in that moment. And those young Marines, those young soldiers I was with, just like you said, it sticks with you forever. The faces of war don't go away. It stays in your head forever. The smells, everything stays with you. It's what you do next that gives you that growth that you were talking about, that post-traumatic growth. It's what you do next that does that and helps you to become that better person, the best version of yourself. And that you also talked about having to go see the children when you were with the DEA as an agent, especially on Christmas. That's horrible. But I don't think any police officer, firefighter, or EMT ever meets somebody on their best day. They always meet somebody when they're having their worst possible day. And it's
yes,
something that's going to stick with you forever, seeing now that person was and thinking any 30-second decision could put you in that same position. How can I make things better? I think you learned that, of course, over the whole time, and that has definitely stuck with you.
it has. And one of my favorite foundations is Boulder Crest. I don't know if you heard of them, but they're great. And they teach first responders and veterans. And they talk about what you can control. 2 things. You can control your attitude, and you can control your effort. It doesn't matter what happens. You can control that. And the veterans and our agents and police do that as they do their transitions. Wow. I'm gone. I'm sorry.
No, you're losing it pretty quick. I'm trying to say more for you so I can keep you with me, but I just put the Boulder Crest link in there. You told me about Boulder Crest when we were in Charlotte, and I immediately looked them up. Of course, I'm going to try to get their founder or someone in their top line to come on the show and tell the world about them. Of course, because I can talk about them all day. You can talk about them, but it's better to hear it from them and let them
Yeah.
and share it. And those are the things I love to have. I mean, you're obviously a testimonial for them, but to have them come on and show their passion, because they'll even have more passion than you do, because it's their baby and they wanted to help all the people that come out there. And I have them on the screen right now. It's a great pictures and everything on there. I haven't seen a picture of you on there yet. No thumbs up. Nothing. But I know it's a good organization. I looked it up that night you showed me. You told me about it. So
Yeah.
it's an awesome organization. I can't wait to get them on the show as well.
Yeah. And one other I'd love to share, MVP. If you can share, they take care of incredible athletes and veterans, and they create environments where we can be together, and there is synergy there. Environments where we can work out together, sweat together, share our stories together, because a lot of those professional athletes have the same needs that we do as veterans, and being with them, they like being with the veterans, and I think it's cool to be with them.
Yeah.
MVP
Emerging
is
veterans like
helping
this.
save lives.
It's a great organization. I think it was Jay Glazer, that's his name. I think he's the one who started it there. Awesome organization. I started doing workouts with them during COVID, because they were doing remote workouts. We don't have a chapter, or I guess a group by us. So we were doing the virtual workouts with them, and there was always guys from all around the country in the virtual. So it was always pretty cool, pretty motivational to do the workouts with them and learn stories of other people. Another great organization.
And that virtual is open to everyone.
Right.
Doesn't matter where you're at. And I go
Right.
work out with them there.
Nice. So I think the closest one to us here in Tennessee was Atlanta.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah.
And if you're a member and you go to Vegas, Randy Couture has a gym there.
Right.
I've worked out with them on
Nice.
Friday nights in Vegas. It's great. I love it. In the octagon.
Nice. As long as he doesn't kill you in there, it just makes you stronger.
Oh, he won't kill you.
Yeah.
He won't kill you. Another favorite of mine is Jason Mayhem Miller,
Oh,
big time UFC. Incredible story. He had struggles. He's recovered. And I've had the privilege of working out with him in LA. And you'll see him now on Adam Carolla's podcast. You'll see him on TV. Mayhem Miller is a great story about recovery and growth and camaraderie. And he's an MVP.
Nice.
And the other founder is Nate Boyer, Army Green Beret, who went on to be a Texas Longhorn and then played in the NFL.
Right.
And now he makes movies and TV shows. I mean, what an eclectic talent. He's one of the founders as well.
Yeah, it's an awesome organization, and it's always good to see, like you said, that even though we as veterans, or we as first responders have issues, so do other people. And professional athlete, they, of course, those who with contact sports are going to have TBIs as well. They're going to have a lot of brain trauma, a lot of other traumas. And then when they stop doing that thing they do every day from 7 years old to 20 something years old, and all of a sudden it stops. What do they do next? Because that's all they know. And that helps them to show that, A, there's other things out there, and B, we can help each other to get to that point.
That's so important. We all need a battle buddy.
Right.
We need someone who's got our six.
Definitely.
And we need to be it for someone, and we also need it for ourselves.
I had to look up Jason Mayhem Miller. I forgot what he looked like, so I had to look him up.
Yeah, he had a TV show a long time ago called the Bully Beatdown.
Yeah, and he'd bring the bully in the ring, right? And
yeah, that's Jason.
Yeah.
Great guy. And he was also in the movie Here Comes the Boom, about the teacher who fights to save the school.
The school, yeah.
He's in that movie. He's done a bunch of stuff. He's incredible, but he's resilient. So Jason had trouble with the law. He's been to jail. He's had struggles with addiction. And I met him fresh out of rehab, and he and I would work out together. And he is healed, and he is growing, and he's doing good. He's helping other people. He's a prime example. So I love his story.
To see him come out on the other side of the darkness story and and be able to give guidance to those so they don't go into that same spiral, I'd like to call it. And
Absolutely.
the same thing. Yeah. That's
He's
outstanding.
the living exemplar.
Right.
The other thing you mentioned, I want to share. For years, working with the Postal Service as an agent for them, we protected veterans, and we had a campaign called Operation Protect Veterans. And I don't remember if I gave you a link for that, but
No.
On the USPIS.gov website, you can find it. And there are scams that take advantage of us as a veteran community.
Wow.
And that website will warn you about how to watch out for it. So if you have someone in your circle who's had TBI or PTS or just getting older, when you're older, you become more susceptible to scams and schemes. Some of us more so than others. You need your network, your battle buddies, and you need to be aware. So for years, I was a spokesperson to help the Postal Service protect veterans with Operation Protect Veterans. And you can read about scams where they use the veterans' affinity because we like each other typically. Or we may yell at each other, but there's love there. They use that to trick veterans and break down social barriers. So there's lots of videos on how to watch out for that. I'll encourage you to look, if you're serving in the veteran community, at that Operation Protect Veterans website. Because if you'll do it, you'll get a little smarter on some of these scams, and then you can help your buddy that might have TBI or your grandfather who might be getting that scammer call, but it's a scammer call with a veteran twist. And you can warn him, because forewarned is forearmed, and then you're up armored. And not only can you fight for yourself, but then you can fight for someone else. And that's what we're all about. So they do trickery with the VA money we get. If you rate VA care or if you get a little stipend from it, they trick veterans out of that. Wow. And that just makes me mad. And also, they pretend to be veteran charities that will help people. They fake that they're the charities.
Oh, wow.
So you got to make sure before you give, you're checking to make sure it's reputable. It's not just a link in your email. You can check with the Better Business Bureau or charitynavigator.org. Or you can check with the Fraud Watch Network at AARP or the FTC or the postal inspectors. They'll help you vet before you give. If someone gives you a fevered, scam pitch, go give. Slow your roll. Check your six. Get with a battle buddy. Check with a trusted resource, and make sure before you give, it's going to go to someone that deserves it. There's a lot of that going on. It upsets me.
I felt your passion up there. I felt that. I can feel the fire. I thought I had what's his name, like Randy Macho Man Savage or something on here.
Savage Slim Jim.
Stop it, Slim Jim. I was on the website as you're talking. There's a long list of things that you can read about things, all the scams that have been out there.
Yeah. You have to put up with seeing me again in some of them, but they did a good job with that.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite memories back in, I want to say it was 2018, 2019, I had the privilege of testifying before the Senate to tell some of those stories. And I will never forget the senator's eyes as we're telling the stories about, hey, they're doing this, they're doing that. The senators were fired up just like I am now. No one likes that. You want to show love to someone who's willing to stay in the line, sign the blank check, and go into harm's way for you. Last thing you want is for them to be scammed. Exactly. So that's a good memory for me. I'm grateful we got to do that.
Definitely. And that link is now in the chat as well. And I'll throw that into the show notes so everyone can see that link as well. And I'll probably add that to my show saved links so I can share them on every show so veterans know and everyone knows there's a scam out there as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
We got a couple of questions from the audience that have popped into our talk. I was trying to save you and not put them up there, but I'll let you try to answer at least one of them. This is from Penelope for Truth. What's one leadership lesson you've learned from your own experience or a mentor?
Nothing is over until we decide it is. John Belushi said that in Animal House. But I believe it. Yes. I believe it. I'll to answer you, I'll tell the story of the Nobel Peace Prize. Have you heard that one, Rich? You know about that one? So
Which one?
Alfred Nobel is what the Peace Prize is named after. And I believe you can rewrite your story at any time. And I've worked with people so Jason Mayhem Miller is a guy who he rewrote his story. It didn't end with him in jail and addicted to drugs. His story ain't over. So what happened with Alfred Nobel was Nobel Peace Prize is named after him. He was the man who invented dynamite. He invented dynamite to help with construction so that they could build buildings quicker. That was his motivation. But the dual purpose of destruction was realized, and it was used for military purposes. And his brother died, and they mistakenly thought it was him. And they wrote the obituary. And in the obituary, for what they wrote it as if it was him, they said the death merchant is dead. The inventor of dynamite is dead, the death merchant. So he got to see what would have been his legacy if he had died. And he realized that's not right. That's not who I am. And he rewrote his story. And he invented the Nobel Peace Prize, which promotes peace and goodwill and all of that. And now most people don't even know the genesis of how the Peace Prize came about. All they know is that it's the Nobel Peace Prize.
Right.
Nothing is over until we decided is we can rewrite our story at any time. When you hit your lowest low, that's good. As Les Brown says, if you can look up, you can get up. So we're going to get up and go do good. There's air in my lungs. There's fight in my heart, and I won't relent. And that's why I'm in this courthouse tonight talking to you. And that's why you asked that question, because now you're going to tell that story to someone else.
That's right. Well, I absorb and then I'll regurgitate later, so it'll be out there. We have another one. We have another one here. I'll take this one, and I'll be the last one I take, so we can save you a little bit. This is from AL849. Do you believe service ever really ends, or does it just evolves?
Service never ends, and if you let it end in your heart, then a little bit of you dies. Because service comes in all forms and flavors, even for me as an old man here who doesn't run so fast anymore. And I'll admit it, when I wake up in the morning, my back hurts. Just getting out of bed's an athletic event for me until I stretch. But I'm still serving. I'm finding ways. Maybe I don't carry a pack, and maybe I'm not in a combat zone or going through doors where maybe people need to be wrestled and arrested. But I'm finding ways. Now I'm just wearing a tie and doing some other stuff. But there are ways to serve. Service never ends. My father is 84 years old, and my father is still serving. My father, I told you guys, he was a river rat in Vietnam. You know, he's still mentoring people, talking to people my age and younger. He's still mentoring one of my lifelong buddies I went to college with. He still spends time on the phone with him, calling him, investing in him, pouring goodness into him, listening to him. Service never ends. If there's air in your lungs and a mind in your brain housing group, you can do something. Remember Hawking in the chair? I mean, look at the man. The man was incredible.
Right.
So, and if you've made mistakes, don't let the stumble be the end. Some of you might have heard what happened with Einstein when he wrote the equations. And if you haven't heard it, I'll give it to you real quick. He writes the equations on the board. And Einstein's smart. And the 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2 is 4. He goes all the way down on the last one. He purposely writes it wrong, and some in the room laugh at him and start to make fun of him. And he says to the room, he says, you know, this is illustrating a point. You can do all these wonderful things and do them right and be Einstein of all people. And you make one little mistake, and then the barbs come out, the critics come out, they start judging, they start, you know, giving you the hate. It ain't over. Even the brightest minds make mistakes. There's still opportunities, and you may be human, but you can still going. As Roosevelt said, the credit goes not to the critic, but to the man in the arena. And you can be that man in the arena in any shape, size, or age. And that's what I want to do. That's why I'm here with you tonight. That's why Rich is still doing what he's doing. That's why I'm going to be sleeping on the ground in Colorado next week with a bunch of wonderful people from the whole nation, from all over, who are inspired to find ways to never quit.
Keep leading, keep on leading, keep pushing forward. That's what That's what it's all about. Keep pushing forward. We say something here on the Misfit Nation called stack victories. So every day you wake up, you start counting the victories you have every day. You're going to have a mistake every day, and everything's not going to go right. Learn from that mistake, but count how many things go right, and you keep that tally. That tally's for you. You do 19 today, get 20 tomorrow, and keep stacking them until you get that number you really want to hit.
I love it. I love it.
All right, so now as we're rocking, we just hit 50 minutes. You still have your voice, and I'm going to try to ease you out of here. What's the best way for the audience to get in contact with you, Carroll?
I'm easy to find. I'm on carrollharris.com. I'm not hiding. I'm out there. I feel calls from all over. I'm public facing at this stage in life because I want to connect people to resources, and where appropriate, be a resource. I can't be a resource for everybody. But what I'm learning as I take my journey is I can connect the right people to do the greater good. And that's what I want to do. There's just too much to do. So I'll give you this as my closing philosophy. When I was little, Grandma would make me go to church, and I heard the story about the starfish. You know this one? The starfish on the beach. It's a closer for me. Storm comes. Thousands of starfish wash ashore, and they're going to die in the sun. And the little boy is down there, and he's picking them up one at a time, and he throws them to the ocean to save them. And the old man sees it, and he knows this little boy he can't save them all. So he goes down, and the little boy says, "What are you doing? You can't save them all." And the little boy looks down, he picks up another one. He throws it to the safety of the ocean, saving it. He looks at the old man. He says, "I saved that one." Tonight on this podcast, we saved that one. When I refer a veteran to an appropriate resource that I'm familiar with, like Boulder Crest, MVP, Travis Mannion, the Misfit Nation show, I'm saving that one. Sure. Operation Protect Veterans, when you're smart about the scams and the schemes, you can save that one. You can pick up that starfish. You can help yourself, and you can help those to your left and your right, and you can continue to serve in life.
Outstanding.
Thanks, Rich.
All right. One more thing, if you can. What's 3 things the Misfit Nation can start doing tomorrow to be better humans? And then I'll let you go.
Every day, find a way to feel gratitude. When you wake up in the day, scan your environment for something to be grateful for. That's one thing. The second thing, share it with a battle buddy. Let them know why you're grateful. Third thing, find someone to reach out and connect to every day to show an appreciation to them for why you're grateful there in your life. Thank them for what they've done. If you do those 3 things, you will uplift yourself, you will uplift someone else, and you will create ripples of positivity that will create thousands of other ripples. That's the 3 things you can do.
Hell yeah. Carroll, thank you for everything you have done for our great nation, what you're still doing for our nation, and what you're doing now with the Travis Mannion Foundation and all the organizations you are a part of by mentoring and leading from the front. You're laying the groundwork for the next generation to be even better than us. Thank you for all you've done.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
And be safe in Colorado next week. The rest of the cohort, I wish I'd be there with you, but I'll be there with you in spirit. Send me the pictures. Make me have that FOMO moment. And you guys have an outstanding trip. Misfit Nation, thanks for tuning in tonight. It's been great. Carroll's been great. If you didn't get anything from this, something's wrong with you. But like Carroll said, as long as we reach one of you tonight, me and him are a success. And I want you all to have a great night. We'll see you on Sunday night. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for checking us out and being a part of the Misfit Nation show. Don't forget to visit our website at themisfitnation.com. That's themisfitnation.com. Check out all our past episodes and get some of the great Misfit Nation gear for you and your family. As always, be humble, stay hungry, and keep hustling because we are
Misfit Nation. Misfit Nation.